Now, before we begin, I would like to ask you, as always, to separate yourself from any predisposed bias against the idea of God. All of us have prior experiences that have impacted our feelings on the God debate. For you atheists, you may recall a negative experience with a religious person, a church, maybe a particular Bible verse you find troubling, whatever. For the sake of clear thinking on this issue, put that baggage aside. You should evaluate my arguments objectively, without skewing your analysis with the distraction of things like the Bible, church, religious nutjobs, etc. I really think the emotional baggage of these issues prevents atheists from objectively processing intelligent design arguments. The atheist begins to see the logical conclusion of the argument, that there must be a creator, and then his or her brain is flooded with all the potential implications of accepting that truth. And suddenly a wall goes up in the atheist's mind, and from that point on, he or she will do nothing but employ whatever tactics are necessary to protect their views. Now, today I want to talk about atheist favorite pastime number 1, bashing religion and religious believers. All you have to do is spend a few minutes perusing the videos of prominent YouTube atheists like Thunderfoot and Pat Condell to see this in action. Or take a peek at any atheist car bumper and you'll likely find one of these, a wonderful example of religious mockery. And let's not forget the champion of religion bashing, Richard Dawkins, author of The God Delusion, a book which can best be described as an angry and bitter attack on religion more than anything else.
But if your aim is to kill religion, as mine is,
These guys, like so many atheists, are vehemently and staunchly anti-religion. But why? What's up with that? Is religion really that bad? Yes! Religion is indeed a negative thing for the most part. Ironically, the one person in human history who can best testify to that would be Jesus of Nazareth. After all, his teachings so enraged the religious leaders of his day that they had him tortured and killed. Yes, the history of organized religion is an ugly one, but pointing to the many flaws of religion says nothing about the existence or non-existence of God. Now, it certainly seems like the concept of God, whether he exists or not, opens the proverbial can of worms, probably the biggest can of worms in human history. Now, this is not surprising, given the profoundly powerful implications of God's existence and the human thirst for power. Indeed, it seems unavoidable that power-hungry and morally corrupt individuals would flock to big business, politics, and religion. But simply because God opens a can of worms does not mean God does not exist, or that a belief in God is somehow bad. After all, despite all the flaws of big business and politics, how many among us are marching the streets demanding an end to commerce and an abolishment of all government? Obviously, that's a crusade for lunatics. But sadly enough, a large number of atheists approach religion in exactly that way. They seek to eradicate belief in God as a way to deal with the evils of religion. You might as well burn a dictionary if you read an especially bad novel. Because, well, that's where the words came from, didn't they? Now, of course, atheists don't exactly give a fair treatment of religion. They amplify its faults and completely ignore its positives, which are many. But for argument's sake, let's accept the atheist premise that religion is completely bad. Okay, so what? That should not sway any intelligent, logical mind with regard to the basic question of, is there a creator/designer behind the universe? To say that you don't believe in God because religion is bad is, well, dumb. It's like saying you don't believe pigs exist because you don't like the taste of bacon. Or you don't believe Ben Roethlisberger exists because you hate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And here's a perfect example for you atheists out there. It's like saying you don't believe in evolution because Adolf Hitler used evolutionary theory to justify the Holocaust. Now, I hate to bring that subject up, but there's an important lesson here. Atheists, You know how much you hate it when people draw connections between Darwinism and the Holocaust? Well, now you know how we feel. So to sum things up, any human endeavor will be imperfect, so it should come as no surprise that religion has many, many flaws. But what does this have to do with the question of God's existence? Absolutely nothing, despite many atheists' attempts to leverage the flaws of religion as a promotional tool for atheism. Thanks for watching, and check out the blog, godlowdown.com. See you next time.